Hello.
What's up? Welcome to our kitchen table.
This is the first time we've ever done anything like this because we feel like it is important for our fellow detailers to know this valuable thing that we have to say.
We think it's pretty valuable anyways.
Do you like getting phone calls?
Do you think phone calls are annoying? Because we
do.
We hated it.
We used to take phone calls in the beginning of our journey, and eventually it got very repetitive. We just phone tag all the time, just inefficient, trying to get
Right.
information you need from these people. And honestly, when you're in the middle of a detail and you hear your phone ringing,
It's pretty irritating because as soon as you hear your phone ring, you think like, oh, I gotta try to understand this person. I gotta know like...
stop what you're doing.
Right. And then you have to like write down all of their information.
It's a lot. And let's just say you don't want to be answering phone calls on the job just because it also takes away from the job you're doing, which ultimately makes you look not professional.
Right.
So let's just say we don't do that anymore, and we have found a system that works to where we don't have any more phone calls.
Yeah.
Or we are very minimal. There's always going to be those people that can't do.
I'm no good with technology.
There's always going to be those
Right.
people.
No
But
matter what.
we found a system that we have to share because it just works flawlessly.
Flawless. So we use GoDaddy to build our website, and we were looking through and we found a contact form section that we could you could set up and ask questions or whatever. And that helped. It helped a little bit. It was very generic, and you weren't able to get anywhere detailed of what we wanted to get because we like giving accurate estimates.
I mean, you were able to get their name, their email. You could put questions like, what are you looking for, an interior and an exterior.
Right, just the basic shit.
But the way we like to give estimates, we knew we wanted to ask more questions, but didn't want the form to be completely like... they have to type in all of these things, and
right.
We wanted it very seamless for our customers to be able to just click, 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 and then we know what we've got to know.
Right. And that's kind of the thing with GoDaddy or like any of those websites. They don't have the checkboxes, which is a major downside.
So when we were using those forms, we would get this general information, and then we would reach out to these people and ask them extended questions. Hello, we're Peas in a Pod. We have some follow-up questions. And at first that was fine. Maybe 2 people a day. But then...
we got 20 of them in the same day.
And
20
of them. And just trying to keep track of that and asking those questions. And a lot of the time, it just got really, like, overwhelming.
And bogged down feeling.
So we were like, what if we found some form that we could just have all of these questions that we want.
And all the answers.
And all the answers we're looking for. And then with those answers, we can generate an estimate for those people.
And get them a price based off of those answers without ever having to talk to anybody. That was the goal.
That was the goal. We went and looked around and we found Elfsight.
Elfsight is sick as hell. This isn't sponsored, but I really wish it was. I love Elfsight. There's like hundreds of things you can do on your website.
So what is Elfsight, you ask?
There's a ton of different apps you can use. We only use the contact form one, but we're kind of looking through and like there's hundreds of them that it's almost like a plugin for your website where like they give you an embedded code and then you go and put that code in there and it like pastes it onto your website. It's kind of cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
So basically we were able to go in there and customize a form that fit for us.
Right.
So our form has specific questions related to detailing, and then it gets sent to us. We review it, and then from there, we can just go to our little estimate, I don't know what you say, estimate program that we have.
We use QuickBooks.
We go in there and we think, okay, we saw this, now we're going to go send it to them.
Another cool thing about Elfsight is when somebody puts in a form on your website, it'll send them an automated email that you preset and everything. But it'll send them an automated email laying out like when you get back to them. And
whatever
like,
you want to say.
Right, exactly. But it's so cool because you can do that.
Really, anything.
We had a waiting list for over the winter when we were shut down. So we had a waiting list to people. They could submit a form and it would put them on a list for us. And then they got an automated message saying, we're taking the winter off, we're being with our family, blah, blah, blah. This is when we'll come back.
And then also on the form, we put a little checkbox on there that they were required to fill out or to check that said, I understand this is a waiting list.
I'm not expecting a response.
Boom. You make it whatever you want, and that's the best
exactly.
part. Because we started this process, and this is how we do our estimates and our booking, that is all we receive now. Because the word of mouth have gone around based off that, and people are aware that this system is very easy and simple, all we get is submission forms.
Right. Because somebody tells their friend about us and they're like, oh, it's so easy. They have a form on their website. You just go fill it out and you can approve the estimate they send you, and it's super easy. They text.
And that's another thing, too, is that all of this is through either text message or some sort of email way of communicating through approving estimates and all of that.
Believe it or not, most people text. We were texting with like an 80-year-old woman.
Exactly.
She texts. They do. People text.
It's a new...
They just do.
It's a new age of business.
Right.
Phone calls are out the door.
Seriously.
I guess the point is that we can't say enough about phone calls being the worst.
We hate phone calls. We just hate phone calls.
I
don't know.
So basically, this whole process is from start to finish about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And we're able to take in a higher volume of customers because, let's be honest, all of the people that call you or try to reach out to you, not all of them are going to schedule with you.
Exactly. It saves time in the fact of having to talk to people, but also it saves your time from talking to people that aren't going to go through you.
Right. So you talk to them on the phone, you're already talking with them for 20 minutes just to find out that they think you charge too much and they're going to go somewhere else.
Right.
That way, if you have that estimate and you just sent that and you're like, all right, let me know, and then they ghost you, then you know that that's good because you would have otherwise wasted your time on that person.
Right. And not only that, but it kind of takes the bargaining power out of the customer because they submit their form and they get an estimate with your professional looking business and everything, all without having a conversation. They're not going to try to bargain with you and be like, well, 225 is kind of high. What about 200?
They're going to see that you're a business and you stand on business.
Exactly. And if it's too much, then they'll move on.
Versus just you on the phone being like, how about 225? We don't charge 225.
That's just a random number.
That's just a random number. So don't.
That has nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with this.
So starting your system like this, it can take a while for it to kind of pick up and for people to just know it's a thing. But once it is rolling, it's so easy.
You just have to stick to it. You have to, you just have to stick to it and not feel the urge to accept people asking for prices through other ways, like Facebook Messenger, Instagram. If they're going to ask you how much, you send them to your website.
Send them the link to the form and be like, if you fill this out, I'll send you an estimate.
And just make it feel like it's normal. If you make it look like it's a normal practice, the customer will have no reason to think that that's not normal and that's just how it's done.
Right.
Everyone wants to be told what to do. So you have to tell them what to do. If this is your first year of business, this is a very good stepping stone to help you scale later on and be able to handle a high volume of people. Especially as a single detailer, we're 2 people. Luckily, but we can totally understand as a single person doing this on your own, it can be a lot.
Getting phone calls like that would be so overwhelming.
So save yourself some time, and I would at least start this in some way. Just try to find a way to get off of the phone.
Any sort of way that helps you.
And this elf site isn't free. It's not free. At the end of it, it's like $120 a year.
Right.
So that's
like... So it's really not bad.
It's not terrible. Anyway, thanks for watching. And if you have any questions or input, we would love to hear it because we honestly believe we have found something that
it feels special.
It's game changing, honestly.
With all the businesses that we've gone through as a customer, we have yet to see any system like this, and it just feels pretty unique. Like, I don't think I've ever seen it before.
And what's a question that you would ask that you don't see that we have? Genuinely.
Yeah, like what's a question that you would expect to see but didn't?
Because we feel like we have it pretty nailed in to what questions matter to us, but what's something that matters to you?
Right. Curious about that.
So, I mean, if you like this content and you feel like you'd like to hear a little bit more from our side of business, we are happy to share. We have a lot.
Our marketing strategy is kind of crazy.
We've been in business for a full year now, and we have grown this business so fast. And it didn't happen overnight. It really didn't.
It was really slow.
It was really slow, but once you're there...
At a certain point, it's exponential. But...
that's the side of it.
Whole nother
video.
Let us know if you like this kind of video, and we'll keep talking to you.
We can talk.
Shut up!
Oh anyway. My God.
Bye.
What could you possibly want?
Shut up.